What's going on with the trails at Carmel Mountain Ranch, the new homes development by Lennar, which is being built amongst all the original homes in Carmel Mountain Ranch. I am here to give you an update and tell you what's going on unit by unit, community by community. So stick around for the whole video if you want to find out everything that's going on, or if you want to jump through the video because this is not going to be short. There's just no way to make it short. It's a lot of information. So my beautiful producer and wife is going to chapter this out for you if you want to skip through and just look at the part that's near your home or the part that you're interested in. So with that, let's get right into it. Looking at an overview of the development here. These are all labeled as units on this master site plan. Now the unit numbers correspond to what used to be golf course holes, and slowly but surely each and every one of these units is being developed, homes are being built, and these communities have names. So going forward, we're going to start swapping out unit numbers for community names. For instance, we've got Marlow, we've got Jasmine over here. There's new names for these communities. They have street names. The street names are starting to show up on Google Maps. So as much as myself and all the other residents of Carmel Mountain Ranch would love to keep referring to the holes on the golf course or unit numbers, things are changing, and that's just the way it is. So I guess, Carmel Mountain Ranch, love it or leave it. And I'm going to continue loving it. So let's get right into this. Looking at Unit 1 here, you've got Windcrest Lane, Seabridge Lane, Montfort Court, and Chippenham, which is right down here. And all of these enter and exit on Windcrest. So Windcrest is going to get a little bit busier right here with Seabridge and Chippenham coming in, and now this new development, Marlow, being built right here. So what's going on with Marlow? Grading is complete. Wet and dry utilities are installed and attached. Paving is supposedly complete. Lennar has ongoing brush management and weed abatement around the edges where this abuts current residents. And the anticipated milestones here are that the frontage improvements, driveways, landscape, this is all estimated to begin next week and be done by June. So we'll see how they do with that. Home building should be complete by October, and the public trails here, the portion of the public trails that are attached to Marlow, should be open by this November. So we will see how Lennar does with that timeline, but this is the community that is the furthest along. And in this video, I'm not going to take the time to go back and describe housing types and prices and so on and so forth, because it would just make the video too long. So we'll make another video that delves into that. Now Unit 2 here, you've got Cape Wood on one side, Windcrest on the other, and it is going to enter and exit on Shoal Creek. Now I'll talk a little bit more about Shoal Creek as we get into it. Each one of these developments, you'll notice, has a retention basin. This is for water runoff. And so this development here will be called Laurel, and they are done with grading, ongoing brush management, weed abatement. Wet and dry utility installation is expected to happen in June. So what does that mean? It means they're going to be tearing up Shoal Creek Drive more than likely to get these wet and dry utilities attached, because the utilities in this community, in Carmel Mountain Ranch in general, and in the new communities, are all underground. And you can ask the residents on Windcrest what that's like to have those being installed. Anybody who's driven up and down Windcrest recently knows it's no fun. So paving is anticipated to start in June and be complete in September. The connections to utilities should be done by September. And then the frontage improvements, what they're calling the driveway installation and any of the niceties that are going to be installed along Shoal Creek Drive. Looking like not until summer of 25. So this is going to be kind of messed up for a while here. And then the Laurel home construction will be going on from January to June from January of 25 to June of 26. So this is looking like, it's a year or so off for construction. Now, and then the public trails completed in 2026. So that's Unit 2. Unit 3 is this area over here, and there will be no construction here. It's protected open space. You've got the Chikorita Creek watershed coming through here. You've got Interstate 15 here, Rancho Carmel Drive here. So residents that live in Waterfield Laurels and in Cambridge really don't have anything going in behind them, but they are definitely sensitive to and concerned about the brush management, weed abatement. But since it is a sensitive area, they have surveyed and staked this. Licensed biologists have done this, and brush management was supposedly completed in October of last year. However, that's debatable, so we're still working on that. And public trails should be complete and open, they say TBD. So we don't really know when the public trails part of this will be open, but that's Unit 3. And same thing with Unit 4 over here. Again, the Chikorita Creek watershed. It will be a very nice area to walk through. It has been historically, and if you manage to get out here, there already is a golf cart path. Although last time I checked it out, it was heavily overgrown. But this is a floodplain, Chikorita Creek watershed, former Kumeyaay Native American site. Just a lot of kind of cool history and natural habitat going on in here. So Unit 5 is where they are going to put 125 workforce apartments, or quote unquote affordable apartments. So that is Lennar's obligation to construct a certain amount of affordable housing along with the for sale housing. I believe the requirement is only 10%. So with 701 for sale units going in, technically they would have only had to have built roughly 70 affordable homes. They're building 125 and probably got some extra bonuses from the city for that. And then we should have a trail that connects to everything else, and a tunnel going under Rancho Carmel Drive. Now the tunnels are something that the community planning group, which I chair, is currently in discussion with Lennar to try and get ahead of the issue and coordinate with these new homeowners associations to figure out who is responsible for maintenance, security, all sorts of stuff with the tunnels. The promise to Carmel Mountain Ranch was that we were going to have a continuous trail network, and without those tunnels, we don't have that. So we're working on it. Let's just say we're working on it. So Unit 5, again, that should be starting construction in June of this year and complete, they say, in August, concurrent with what's going on over here on Unit 6. I think that timeline is probably ambitious, but then what has been called Unit 6 is forever going to be Ashton. That is the name of the community that's going in here, and it will exit and enter on Rancho Carmel Drive here. And then there is a non-Lennar development going on right here. You may have noticed this 4-story building popping up. This is the development that was approved by the city before the trails were approved. It used to be a park and ride, and is going to be a roughly 50-unit 4-story apartment building, which is also going to enter and exit onto Rancho Carmel Drive via Provençal Place. So residents here on Provençal are going to be impacted by this here and this here. And then, of course, the 125 over here as well. This is gearing up to become a lovely traffic snarl in the area. But, you know, the city assures us they have done traffic studies and everything is a-okay. So, Unit 7 is going to be Shoal Creek Park. You've got Stonygate Place on one side, Royal Melbourne Square on the other side. So the trail from Ashton over here is going to go through this wooded area and through this protected open space and then into the park. Now that is, let's see, the park is slated to be complete somewhere late spring, early summer 2026. So again, I think a lot of these timelines depend on how well the market holds and how quickly they sell the rest of these units that they're building, because generally builders won't advance to the next phase of their project until they're sold out on the previous one. But we will see how that goes. Now, moving along here to Unit 8, and this is where we'll get into a discussion of Shoal Creek Drive. As you may have already noticed, Shoal Creek Drive is basically a thoroughfare between Rancho Carmel Drive and Ted Williams Parkway here. And then on Shoal Creek Drive, we already have Capewood entering and exiting, Windcrest entering and exiting, Royal Melbourne Square. The park will have no cars parking here, but people. And then the development here, Clementine and Hedley on the former Unit 8. And whatever I said the name of this one was that I can't remember now. All entering and exiting in this little stretch of Shoal Creek Drive here. And I will tell you that the community planning group, when we were discussing this park, we were adamant that we put some sort of crossing signal here, because the footbridge over Ted Williams is on I guess this would be the northeast side of the street, and the entrance to the park here on the southwest side of the street. You're going to get a lot of school people who want to cross right here as they're coming home from school and want to go to the park. And then anybody who's coming down from here or from here is going to have to cross to get to the park. And being a thoroughfare between Ted Williams and Rancho Carmel already, a lot of speeding and so forth. So this is going to be a sort of a hornet's nest of issues going on here. And, you know, we're doing our best. The community planning group is doing its best to interface with the developer, with the city, with the parks department, you know, to help mitigate all of this. However, you've heard my comments on community planning groups before. The city and the powers that be don't necessarily listen closely when we're expressing concerns. So Clementine and Hedley here on Unit 8 will be, let's see, paving is going to be complete this next month. Wet and dry utility installation complete May and June, and then connected to Shoal Creek and Bolton Avenue in April through June of 2024. Bolton is up here, so apparently there's some utility connections going on here, and all of this home building and utility connection is supposed to be complete by September, so we will see how that goes. And then the public trails open in 2025 on this. Now we'll see, Unit 9 is up here at the top of the hill where the current clubhouse is, and that is slated to be demolished just about any time now. So the old clubhouse will be gone, and then this Lavender and Ashton development will be right up here at the top of the hill. And they say demolition of the clubhouse should begin in May of 2024. So expect that to start any time now. Utilities connected by August, paving complete in December. And then models open in October and home building operations complete in this area, they say, not until 2026. So there'll be a lot of disruption in this area throughout that process, and a lot of additional traffic here on Carmel Ridge Road. So we will learn to live with that, I suppose. Now, looking at units 10 and 11 here, these are not expected to be completed until, let's see, August of 25. So there are going to be a lot of activities ongoing here until August of 2025. And this is going to be called Laurel and Hedley. I feel like we keep seeing that Hedley name, and I guess we've got a few different communities or a few different sections of the community that are going to share that Hedley product name. So Unit 12 over here on the other side, the call it the south side of Ted Williams, is no construction. Brush management ongoing, no development. And then the Walden Park will be constructed here on what has been called Unit 13. And that is expected to be done in the summer of 2026, along with Shoal Creek Park. And again, we've got Trail Network, which is supposed to be connecting here underneath Ted Williams Parkway. So there has historically been a golf cart tunnel here. If you ever played golf on the golf course, you drove your golf cart under Ted Williams here. So it's going to be up to these HOAs, whichever HOA, and we don't know yet. It's not the current CMR RCA. It's going to be one of the new HOAs that's responsible for this open space here, and in conjunction with that, this community and this tunnel right here. These tunnels are going to be an issue. I already know it. I've been talking with the powers that be about the tunnels, and I get a lot of yeah, the tunnels, but it's going to be a huge issue. Unit 15 over here, where we, let's see, we've got Ted Williams Parkway down here, Highland Ranch right here. This is the Villaggio community here, and then you've got Heritage Hill and Carmel Ridge Road right here. So yes, let's see, what did I just say? Villaggio, Heritage Hill, and then the community along Carmel Ridge and Eastbourne. This is another open space, nothing being built here. Sensitive habitat areas have been identified by biologists and staked out, and weed abatement is continuing along in conjunction with this biological assessment. And so nothing of note going on there. Now fast forward over here to Unit 16, where we have more open space along Carmel Ridge Road and behind, I believe this is Rutledge Square here in the, sorry, the name is escaping me, and I used to live in there. So I know sometimes in the heat of battle you forget a name, but this is the gated community here, and I just said the name a minute ago, but now I can't remember it. So anyway, Eastbourne Park will be right here where Eastbourne and Carmel Ridge Eastbourne turns into Carmel Ridge, or Carmel Ridge turns into Eastbourne. Again, no on-site parking at this park. This is all for the community, for the existing residents and the new residents, and is basically the few homes at the beginning of Carmel Ridge sort of got a better situation with this park because it's sort of down below them. And some of these residents over here got this park right at eye level, which it's not going to be great. The current HOA is working on some fencing solutions for these properties because they currently have only 3-foot high fences. So folks in the park could basically just step over the back fences of these properties. And there's all sorts of political stuff that I could talk about with regard to the current Carmel Mountain Ranch Homeowners Association, how they settled the lawsuit with Lennar and got or didn't get concessions that may have been needed for existing homeowners. But it was a complicated situation, so people do the best that they can with the information they have, and that's probably all I'm going to say about that. So continuing on to Unit 16, with Unit 16 here, Heritage Hill, that's the name I was looking for, is on this backside of what is being called Jasmine, and then Eastbourne Road over here, and then of course the Eastbourne Road Park over here. So Jasmine is going to be, let's see, we're currently doing wet and dry utility installation. Paving should be complete this month. The frontage, the driveway, and the landscape, they say complete in May of 2024. And the models should have already been completed. And they say that home building operations on Jasmine will be complete in November. So we will see how that shakes out. Now, sliding across the street here to Unit 17. Here's another one of these tunnel spots under Highland Ranch Road. This will be essential to connecting the trail network. You've heard me mention several tunnels. You know what I already said about tunnels. These are being turned over to these new HOAs. The new HOAs are going to be responsible for the tunnels. And I just don't know how that's going to go. So Unit 17, also being called Marlow. So I'm assuming at this point that this is a identical or similar product to what's happening up on top there with Unit 1. Lennar is referring to this as Marlow. And clearing of vegetation and trenching for utilities and so forth was already completed. The wet and dry utilities supposedly already completed. Paving completed in May, so coming right up here, or right now they're supposed to be completing this. And then, okay, so they did the trenching for the wet and dry utilities already. The connections are supposed to be complete in June. And then the frontage and landscape improvements July of 2024, with construction being completed in January of 2025. So that's what's going on there with Unit 17. And then Unit 18 is, again, open space. So no construction going on with Unit 18. It's going to be an open space in between this part of Marlow and this part of what used to be Unit 9, and where the clubhouse used to be at the top of Carmel Ridge Road. So you have Carmel Ridge Road going up the hill here, and supposedly having the trails complete in September of 2026. So that's a lot of talking. 22 minutes of talking. I hope it was informative. Questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to us. We can hopefully fill in any details that we missed in this conversation. And then I will do another video that goes more into the different products that Lennar is putting in to these various communities, what they look like, what the prices are. So stay tuned for that. And again, I really hope this was helpful for Carmel Mountain Ranch residents and non-residents alike. We will talk to you again soon, and another drone video will be forthcoming very, very soon. We'll get our drone guy out to do another pass so we see what it looks like from the air. If this weren't happening in our backyards, I'd say it was fascinating, but that might be a little generous for for our discussion here. So in any event, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.